Welcome back, sorors and freighters, to the 10th and final episode of Intro into Magic. Before we begin, I would like to give a quick summary of the entire universe and your place in it. In the beginning, the universe was formless and void. No sensation or experience, just the dim awareness of cosmic consciousness existed. As the cosmic consciousness became aware of itself and nothing else, the urge to know itself formed. In the void place of spirit, it divided itself into two, known as the yin and yang, contraction and expansion, the electric and magnetic, the god and goddess. The union of these two forces give rise to the 10,000 things of all creation. Everything seen, felt, tasted, heard, and thought was created from their union. The divine masculine and feminine create the divine child, the three-in-one forming a container for the unfoldment and birth of the universe through limitation and time. Everything created, both visible and invisible, manifests through the four elements of the subtle force: length, width, height, and depth. These four elements are made active and dynamic through the fifth element, or akasha, the symbol of mankind in their power. And then these forces find harmony and life through the divine manifestation of the divine light. In order to express this light and life, cosmic consciousness divides into 7 rays of consciousness, revealing its harmony and beauty, causing life to grow and evolve in its multitude. Cosmic consciousness now has developed its will, intellect, and feelings, and its positive and negative poles. It has the power of knowledge and reason in order to begin understanding itself. It can now move forward and develop and grow shapes and symbolic forms. The expansion and contraction of its awareness creates rhythm, seen in the cycles of the moon. Finally, manifestation occurs. From the Big Bang on, consciousness, or spirit, is imbued in every particle in all of space, the subtle force finding its densest materialization. Cosmic consciousness born, divided, learning what it is, which brings us to you and I. We are all the manifestation of divinity. We are here to experience life, death, good and evil, limitation, growth, struggle, and rapture, in order to learn about ourselves and for the divine to know itself. If it's true that the microcosm reflects the macrocosm, then we must assume that our personal alchemical journey, that of refining our nature to that of a higher spiritual nature, is also occurring to the divine. Spirit took a deep dive into matter and is now raising matter back up into spirit. This process is not accomplished through religious edicts, holy wars, or any repressive asceticism, but in turning the divine light of our own awareness back in on itself to rediscover our inner truth, our inner divinity, thereby illuminating all of creation. So now that we have all of creation out of the way, let's explore practices anyone can do right this moment to start living a more magical life. You don't need ritual tools, robes, or talismans, just a little will and imagination. The first practice that anyone can perform that is highly effective and practiced by the likes of Austin Spare, Thomas Edison, Salvador Dali, and Neville Goddard is to hone in on what it is you actually desire. Enter into the theta or delta state during meditation or using binaural beats, and from that state create an imagined experience of what it would be like to actually have your desire accomplished. Experiencing the moment as if it was currently happening. Play it out several times until it feels completely real and successfully done. Really feel your will has been accomplished. Give thanks for the success and know deep in your bones that it must now occur. Then you exit the meditation and go about your life as if it is a certainty. So for example, if you did this for a new job, after this meditation, you would begin applying for that job with the certainty you will get it. You must follow through and do everything you can on your end for the success, knowing the universe will meet you halfway. Having mentioned binaural beats, there are several apps online you can download and use. Use them to explore the range of consciousness. Sit in meditation, relax, while listening to a particular frequency. Do so daily and stay with one frequency a week, exploring that range of consciousness within yourself, finding what is within your mind at that state of consciousness, what experiences come up at that state of consciousness before moving to a next deeper state, becoming more and more familiar with the different ranges. Keep a journal. Keeping a daily journal using dates, times, record your dreams, your goals, perspectives, inspirations, odd occurrences, and magical works with results. I cannot advocate this practice enough for personal development and knowing yourself better. Going through your writings will be so enlightening in the future, and it will help you chart a course for a better life. I don't know how many times I've gone back through my journals and noticed certain times and dates with certain occurrences coming back up, linked with astrological influences and certain numbers or experiences that show synchronicities and patterns in your life. Only journaling will reveal this to you. Breath work. From Wim Hof to David Lee's Life Force book, there are some great explanations on how to use breath work or pranayama for energy work to self-development. Stanley Groff developed holotrophic breathing as a replacement for his LSD therapy because the proper breath work can cause altered states of consciousness. In my early work, I foolishly scoffed at breath work, the actual power that it has, reading up on pranayama and the rest, I just didn't think breath work had that much power behind it. And finally, once I actually started doing it, I realized how much I was missing out on this powerful tool that is available to everyone who can breathe. So I definitely recommend trying out breath work. Blessing your food and drink with the qualities you wish to gain, whether it's health, joy, intelligence, or any other quality. Imagine what that quality is like in terms of color, form, and feel. Imagine that it surrounds you like an energetic cloud, then focus that energy down on the food or beverage, and with your imagination, know that it is condensing down into the item, transmuting it, like the bread and wine of communion, into that quality. So that you're not ingesting food, but you're actually eating and drinking the manifest quality that you desire. Spend time forgiving and loving yourself. Feel love for yourself and others. This is a profound healing practice that can raise your overall energetic vibration. In Buddhism, it's called metta practice, M-E-T-T-A, and it can be a beautiful practice to perform regularly by imagining those that you love and care for around you and feeling that quality of love infuse every cell of your being, and then spreading that love outwards to those that you know, and even as far as those that you maybe don't like or really don't care for, and maybe even that you hate. As you expand this field of love and caring and forgiveness to those around you, and of course yourself, a profound healing effect can take place and cause you to develop spiritually in a profound way that you just have to practice regularly to understand. Going out into nature, going on walks through woods, breathing fresh air, looking up at the sky, getting into the dirt, connecting with the life force found in natural settings is a way to heal and ground consciousness in the moment, in the now. The energy, the fresh energy available to you out in nature, especially if you work regularly with higher states of consciousness, needs to be brought down and materialized by grounding and working with nature on a regular basis. By studying myths, legends, and different religions in order to find the symbolic truths hidden in these stories, by regularly filling your mind with sacred texts, you can elevate the mind to a higher spiritual understanding and wisdom, seeing the connection between all these different religions where they compare and contrast is a good way to see the deeper spiritual truths that unite all religions and all peoples. Find time in the morning, noon, and night to connect with the heavenly lights, the sun, the moon, to the stars. Find harmony in the rhythm and the cycles of the sky. Be present, be in the moment, in the great now of being. Focus on your heartbeat and breath with the expansion contraction. Experience your body's position, the sensations of life moving through you. When you get distracted or caught up in thoughts of the past or the future, come back to the now by experiencing how you feel now in this body and the sensations within it. This builds the life force in and around your sphere of sensation and better connects you to the flow of the subtle force in and around you. Find a divination system you like. Tarot cards, a pendulum, dowsing, bibliomancy, geomancy, astrology, and begin working with it regularly. This helps connect you with the subtle force and its workings on you and your life. Record your results in your journal and your insights for later review and study, and to become confident and proficient in working with this magical force. Begin using mantras, chants, and vibrating words of power. These practices can better help you connect your consciousness to the subtle force and to the higher powers all around you, expanding your awareness and your consciousness. So those are a bunch of practices you can start on today in order to create a more magical life. To introduce yourself to this practice of magic, to see if it's right for you. A little bit of magic is for everyone. It's your birthright. But there are those that seek to go deeper, to master the innate powers of the subtle force, to become magicians. It is a long, arduous path with many a reward and many a pitfall. It isn't for everyone and can be dangerous, so the choice is left to your discretion. For all the practices and books I've mentioned in this series, follow the link below to my WordPress site, justinbthemagician@wordpress.com. As I mentioned, this is the final episode of the Intro to Magic series, and I wanted to thank everyone for listening and taking part in this series. But I am working on a new series, which will be called The Mystic Mind of Justin B., which will cover various topics from my own personal perspective and viewpoints, as well as more of my artwork. I plan on making a site where you can purchase my art, such as commissioned, sigilized paintings that will be magically charged or blessed. And finally, I'm working with the amazing Falcon Books Publishing on creating an online training course for the Perseus Arcane Academy, a magical school focused on initiation, evocation, and Kabbalah. So once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me. And until next time that we speak, I wish you good magic.